Has there been any consideration of how SB1 may impact in an unintended, possibly fashion as it relates to the arts, as far as the humanities, and most notably, I guess, with what seems to be a curious inclusion of foreign language and all of that, along with like the technological creative piece? It seems like there's a huge umbrella there that it is, I guess to use your word, groundbreaking. I've never seen that before.
Right.
And I didn't know if there's any concern about whether districts, when pressed, may choose one over the other to make sure they thread the needle still.
Well, still, it's going to be the student's choice, because the course that you're talking about is History and Appreciation of Visual and Performing Arts. And as you know, that when that course first started, they had you had to have an arts certificate to be able to teach it. Well, problem was they couldn't find enough arts people to teach that class. So EPSB came back and said, oh, okay, well, if you've got a social studies or if you've got, I can't remember the other one, then you can teach the class. And our history, I think it was, is certification. It's probably the worst taught class that we have in our schools. And if you ask them, is this really accomplishing what you want it to accomplish with the arts and humanities, and they'll tell you, not really. We understand all of that, and it's probably not the best, and we would love to do something different. So you're forcing kids to have that credit. And it's not in statute, by the way, it's regulation. And now they have to have 22 credits, as they used to have 18, and so we're cramming more and more in there. But you hopefully have kids specializing, and I'll tell you, this really works with the workforce development piece of the whole thing. Kids that are specializing, by the time they get to high school, at least that's what your hope is happening. I have two kids that are artists in my family. One's an actress, and she reminded me, and Dad, I'm a working actress, not an aspiring actress. That's right, you do get paid for what you do, and she does have build a pretty good resume. She's not had a big break yet, but we're still hopeful. And then have a son who's a starving musician, trying to make it. So you don't want to diminish the arts, but if that class is something that hinders a child from being able to specialize in their area where they want to go, if they need a fourth-year language class and they're having trouble fitting it in, if they need that computer, graphics or whatever it is, or computer programming class that it incorporates the elements of design and creativity into it, why would we want to hinder them from being able to take that class? Because they have to take this one course that's really not accomplishing what it's set out to do. I think that we ought to have something, I don't know, over the interim with the commissioner and KDE, that they get together with the arts people, humanities, and figure out what is it that we need to do with that to make sure that those kids are already getting to do what they want to do. If they're specializing in the arts, tell me, does a band student have to take that class? Does a choral student have to take that class? Does a kid that's going into art have to take that class? They don't. So they already have that established for them, but everybody else has got to take that class. I think that's a little unfair playing field. I don't think we need to remove the class, because like my kids have done over the years too as well, I don't know what I want to be yet. Okay, then take this class that's part of your graduation requirement. It's still there. We're not taking it away. But let me just speak to that for a second. And I'm sure you're well aware of this because we have companies coming to us all the time. Ford, right close to where you're at, 2,000 jobs. They were here last week, I think it was. I'm talking to the representative from Ford who's here. They've hired 500. They still need 1,500 more. She said, we can't find the people that we need. She said, certainly we want people that can show up on time, pass a drug test, all that. But even then, they don't have the skills we need. Why not provide an opportunity for a kid that you know necessarily may not be going on to college, could take a technical certificate that would help them? Do you know the average wage in those automotive assembly plants? Anybody have an idea what that is?
Hourly wage,
Not an hourly, yearly. What they make in a year?
$50,000, that's a guess.
$58,000. And we have three. We have the largest automotive assembly plant in the world, right in Georgetown, Kentucky. I mean, these are real viable jobs. And right now in my area, we have the Corvette plant. And we have companies there that support them that are tier 1 suppliers. My company is a tier 1 supplier. There are 950 open jobs that we don't have people to fill those jobs. We got people that are employed, but they don't have the skills, and the kids coming out of school don't have those skills. So I'm looking at it and thinking we have to do more to connect our schools to workforce and post-secondary programs, whether it's apprenticeships, whether it's 2-year technical schools, whether it's community college, whether it's 4-year college. We have to give them more opportunity for those kind of things. And so that's my heart behind all of that.